headlines, the President of the Republic, Abdulaziz Bouteflika, has ordered a change in the managers of a number of state-owned financial institutions and public economic enterprises. Egyptian Foreign Affairs Minister Sameh Shoukry has affirmed that there is a convergence of views and understanding between Algeria and Egypt concerning issues and inter-Arab solidarity. The ISIS terror group has captured the ancient Syrian town of Palmyra. Media outlets reported a death toll of 400 people emerged on Sunday. Hello ladies and gentlemen, you're watching Zay News and welcome to this English News edition. First in our top stories, the President of the Republic, Abdulaziz Bouteflika, ordered Sunday a change in the managers of a number of state-owned financial institutions and public economic enterprises. The Presidency of the Republic said in a statement. The head of state also gave instructions that the relevant bodies undertake the ordered change without delay, the statement added. The Al Khalifa trial, dubbed as the scandal of the century, continues at the Blida Criminal Court with hearings from more witnesses in the case. Finance Minister Mohamed Jalab was heard in today's hearing session. He confirmed that the losses of bankrupt Al Khalifa Bank ranged between 30 to 60 billion Algerian dinars. And for more details about the matter, we now join our special envoy Siham Sado, who is present at the premises of Blida Criminal Court. Siham, could you update us more about the latest developments in the ongoing Al Khalifa trial case?
Hello Nadia, so today is the third day of the new phase from the witnesses trial. Up to now, the judge Antal Al-Mnour has listened to 7 witnesses. 3 among them were absent, so the judge went on reading to the whole session, reading their testimonies. The main, most important witness was the former Financial Minister Mohamed Jalab, who pledged this morning. The judge spent the whole morning interrogating him, especially about the financial gap that went through that period, through Khalifa period, the period where he ruled the bank for 2 months. It was in 2000. He justified saying that there was a big illegal documents concerning bank loans, and many people asked for bank loans, mainly some credits that went, the big amount of credit estimated to 80 billions that went to the benefits of Khalifa Airways. He accused Khalifa Airways to be responsible of the financial gap because they used to take a big amount of money. He said also that Khalifa Momen, he denied all the accusations, all the statements about Khalifa Momen when he said in 2007 that he left before leaving the Algerian territory an amount of money estimated 87 billions. He said when he was there, the amount was estimated to 80 billion dinars. Also, he went on listening to other testimonies, such as Khalifa's brother, Abdulaziz Khalifa, who said also that he didn't know a lot of news in that period, even though he was he had a share in Khalifa Bank with his wife and Momen Khalifa's wife and his mother, who died now. He said that he and his sister, both of them, have never signed up any illegal contract concerning bank loan, because he was accused in 2007 as well of signing up a corrupted contract. He said that he was doing at that period his military service while his sister was living in Morocco. Just now, Nadia, the last witness was Nadia Awisi, his secretary, who said that Khalifa's uncle used to visit Khalifa Bank regularly.
Thank you. Thank you, Siham.
Thank Thank you.
Thank you so much, Sihan, for all these details. And Egyptian Foreign Affairs Minister Sameh Shoukry affirmed in Algiers that there is a convergence of views and understanding between Algeria and Egypt concerning the issues and Arab solidarity. In a statement to the press following the audience granted to him by President of the Republic Abdelaziz Bouteflika, Shoukry underlined a convergence of views and understanding between Algeria and Egypt concerning their efforts to undertake towards Arab issues and Arab solidarity, insisting on the cooperation between the two countries at the bilateral and regional levels and in terms of international issues. The visiting Egyptian minister emphasized the need to boost the close bilateral links so as to serve the interests of the two countries and peoples. In the outstanding Mali file after the signing of the Peace and Reconciliation Agreement between the Malian parties at issue in the capital Bamako, Algeria will host on Monday a new meeting between all the Malian parties to examine the most important political developments unfolding in the country. The upcoming meeting also aims to discuss ways to achieve a lasting ceasefire, as the Azawad movement's coordination has so far declined to engage in the peace process sponsored by Algeria's well-meaning mediation. The Special Representative of the United Nations Secretary General of Disaster Risk Reduction, Mrs. Margareta Wallström, has underlined during her recent visit to Algeria the keen interest shown by the United Nations in the Algerian experience in terms of managing and heading off natural disasters. Mohamed Baraswan.
Mrs. Wallström said to this effect that she had tackled with the Minister of Housing, Town Planning and the City, Al-Majid Tebboune, ways to allow benefiting from the telling Algerian experience in fighting natural disasters. In this connection, she recalled the relevant agreement on disaster management signed in Japan 2 months ago by a majority of world countries. During her meeting with Mr. Tebboune, Mrs. Wallström also dealt with issues relating to the construction quality of buildings and some shortcomings and lapses registered in this field here in Algeria. For his part, the Minister of the Interior Local Assemblies, Nourdine Bedoui, also conferred here in Algiers with a visiting UN Special Representative for Disaster Risk Reduction, Margareta Wallström. In a statement to the press at the end of the encounter, Mrs. Wallström said that she had discussed with Mr. Bedoui the opportunities of a closer cooperation with Algeria in terms of reducing the risk of disasters, adding that she had tackled with the minister the outcome of the Global Conference on the Management of Disaster Risks, which was held in Japan 2 months ago.
The European Union and Algeria have launched a political dialogue on energy matters during a meeting in Algiers. Miguel Arias Canet, European Commissioner for Climate Action and Energy, and the Algerian Energy Minister agreed to enhance bilateral cooperation on natural gas, renewable energy, energy efficiency, energy market integration and infrastructure development. Mohamed Razwan again.
The cooperation between the two sides followed the establishment of a strategic energy partnership in 2013. Algeria is a partner of crucial importance to the European Union. The launch of an energy dialogue in Algiers today will contribute to our enforcement of our bilateral cooperation in the new context of energy security, Alice Canet said. As per the agreement, two expert groups, one on natural gas and the other on electricity, renewables and energy efficiency, will be created. In addition, a business forum will be set up with the first meeting scheduled for 2016 in Algiers. Algeria is the third biggest supplier of gas to the European Union, and the European Union is the biggest importer of natural gas. However, due to a lack of new investment, gas production in the country is declining and large reserves of gas remain unexploited. Enhanced political links on energy could boost investments in Algerian gas with the knock-on effect of improving Europe's energy security, the European Union said. Meanwhile, the European Union has agreed to share its renewable energy and energy efficiency expertise in support of Algeria's goal to reach 22 gigawatts of renewable power by 2030 and a 9% reduction in energy consumption.
The Algerian Higher Affairs Institute hosted on Saturday the information technology event Fox Days here in Algiers. A number of lecturers from different nationalities took part in the event to teach IT engineers, developers and students more skills and know-how in the IT industry. Usama Snoussi.
Vox Days Algiers took place yesterday at the premises of the Algerian Higher Institute of Affairs, a series of a one-day event focused on Java, web, mobile and GVM languages, run by groups of senior developers and user group leaders.
I am here in the Vox Days Algeria as a speaker in their startuping track. Vox is an event organized by Morocco JAG, Algeria JAG and Corpus 6. So it's mainly an event for developers, for tech developers specializing in the Java. And it's an awesome event for developers to learn new techniques and technologies and new ways of using that's awesome technology. And parallelly, we are also providing few sessions about entrepreneurship and on how to use their development skills that they can create innovative startups in Algeria.
Yeah, I mean, this event is about talking great technology and evangelizing technology. I mean, the cutting-edge technology, because now every people talk like a new style of IT, the new style of business, and everybody say like, yeah, we have to move to the third platform. What we say about third platform is all talking about cloud, big data, social, Internet of Things.
Vox Days brings together internationally renowned and local speakers. They offer developers unique events that blend the latest, most important content with the local flavor. Attendees are able to hack, learn, network and be inspired throughout. The developer conference brought together popular speakers, core developers and popular open source technologies and professionals willing to share their knowledge and experiences.
This event to me is very, very important. It's the first step of the Java community in Algeria making an appearance in the world stage. So this is the first world-class event, really, that a Java event that really has taken place in Algeria.
Very good. I find this event really very interesting for two reasons. The first reason is that we have some technical contents, some technical presentations. That's really very, very nice. And we have the second reason is that we can meet students and professionals and international speakers. That's something that we didn't have before. I was studying here in Algeria 5 years ago, and we didn't have this chance. So I think this event is really very interesting.
Very good. That's enough. Thank you so much. Do you have a business? Vox Days Algiers was a rendezvous for learning, networking and sharing experiences about Java and related technologies, software craftsmanship, technology trends and more. Some of the top talents from Algeria and around the globe delivered sessions on the latest and most important topics. A total of 20 sessions took place during the day.
As part of the event, Constantine, the capital of Arab culture, the Egyptian troupe of Abdel Halim Nouira, led by Mahmoud Kamal and accompanied by many talented singers, performed nostalgic and warm selection of Arab song, paying tribute to many iconic Arab singers, including the late singer Warda Al-Jazairiya. The final ceremony of the Egyptian Week in the presence of the Egyptian ambassador to Algeria and other high officials from the Algerian Ministry of Culture. Karim Faz-Zakri.
In a nostalgic and warm atmosphere marked by professionalism and mastery, the Egyptian troupe of Abdel Halim Nouira, led by Mahmoud Kamal and accompanied by Dalila Abdel Wahab and other singers from the Cairo Opera, played a selection of tarab full of souvenirs in the final evening of the Egyptian Week in the capital of Arab culture, Constantine, in the presence of the Egyptian ambassador to Algeria and other high officials from the Algerian Ministry of Culture. Many Arab countries participated in the event. Constantine, the capital of Arab culture, either here in Constantine or in the capital Algiers, or even in other neighboring provinces to Constantine. After Palestine and Sudan, Egypt followed, and they had a wonderful opera orchestra. As you have seen, the audiences were very happy with their performance, especially when they paid a tribute to the late Warda Al-Jazairiya.
واحدة من أهم الفرق الفنية التابعة للأوبرا المصرية. فرقة تعتبر الفرقة الأساسية اللي كان.
Our troupe is the main one in the country. It was created following a presidential decision by the late President of Egypt, Mr. Anwar Sadat. The troupe consists of 150 musicians and singers, and this group aims at preserving Arab music. We have participated in several Arab and foreign countries to spread the Arab music culture in all these countries.
طبعا الفرقة بعدة دول عربية وأجنبية لنشر الثقافة المصرية.
Delia successively performed لولا الملامة, But When We Speak, and في يوم وليلة, under the applause of an audience pleasantly surprised and captivated by the young lady's talent and her vocal capacities. Her compatriot Aysam Muhammad performed روحي وروحك and لو بات الأيام. Other tributes were paid to so many talented singers who went down to history in the era of black and white television. At the end of the evening, the orchestra performed different national anthems of all the Arab countries and then were rewarded and honored by the Algerian Culture Ministry and with the presence of Egyptian ambassador to Algiers, who underlined the importance of such an event in the strengthening of cultural exchanges between the two brotherly people.
Moving on to world news, Nigeria's military claimed more progress in its fight against Boko Haram extremist group, saying scores of terrorists were killed and 20 women and children were rescued in a recent operation. A Nigerian military spokesman said that those rescued were airlifted out of Sambisa forest. It was immediately not clear if they were held captive or simply in danger from the extremist group, whose reign of terror in Nigeria's northeastern states has grown in intensify over the past 6 years. Amnesty International reports said that the group has abducted more than 2,000 women and girls in just the past year. Arab Army Chiefs of Staff held a meeting on Saturday under Egyptian Army Chief of Staff Lieutenant General Mahmoud Higazi at the Arab League premises in Cairo to prepare for forming a joint Arab military force to confront regional security challenges. Osama Snoussi.
Egypt called on chiefs of staff of Arab armies to finalize measures to form a joint Arab military force by June the 29th instead of July the 29th as scheduled. Speaking at the meeting of chiefs of staff of Arab armies held in Cairo from May the 21st to the 23rd, Egypt's chief of staff Mohammed Higazi said the Arab summit held in Sharm el-Sheikh in March has set July the 29th as a deadline for forming the force, but we have to finalize our work by June the 29th and give the Arab leaders a chance of a one-month period to examine outcomes that could be reached. During the meeting, Higazi offered Egypt's condolences to Saudi people and the Saudi monarch Salman ibn Abdulaziz over the suicide bombing on a Shiite mosque in Saudi Arabia that killed at least 21 people on Friday. On March the 29th, Arab leaders agreed in Sharm el-Sheikh summit to form a joint Arab military force to face the challenges and protect the Arab national security. The meeting, which is the third of its kind, comes in the light of the recommendation by the Arab Leaders Summit held in Sharm el-Sheikh. According to the conclusion statement of the summit, Arab leaders agreed to form a joint force to face the challenges and protect the Arab national security. The first meeting of the chiefs of staff was also held in Cairo on April the 22nd, while the second one was held in Saudi Arabia.
In strife-torn Syria, the self-proclaimed Islamic State terror group has captured the ancient town of Palmyra. Reuters reported a death toll of 400 people emerged on Sunday. The UNESCO World Heritage Site is now under threat as the extremist group has a track record of destroying ancient artifacts. Meher Mzahi.
Syrian state television has reported that so-called Islamic State militants have killed at least 400 people in Syria's ancient cultural city of Palmyra. Reuters also reported that scores of social media activists have claimed that hundreds of bodies could be found on city streets, most of which were women and children. The historic city of Palmyra lies northeast of Damascus. It is a UNESCO landmark and has been described by experts as an oasis in the Syrian desert. It is home to renowned Roman-era ruins including well-preserved temples, colonnades, and a theater. ISIS militants invaded the city on Saturday evening and locked down the museum, placing guards outside its doors. According to Antiquities Director Mamoun Abdul Karim, most of the museum's antiquities have been transferred to Damascus. The capture of Palmyra comes just days after the capture of the Iraqi city of Ramadi, as the so-called Islamic State ramp up efforts to control vast swaths of land, despite being targeted by constant airstrikes.
Back to national news, Algeria is very rich with history of the Stone Age man. And to our delight, an area in Al Bayt province containing very important rock engravings and cave paintings documenting the life of the primitive man back then was reached by their news cameras, thus being the first media outlet to come back with this beautiful footage. Karim Fazakri.
Our destination was the south of Brezina town and precisely the branch of Bakhta. But our journey stopped due to the hardships of the road. We tried to fix the car, but in vain. So we had to finish our trip on foot. until we reached this area, which contains lots of carved rocks and which dates back to 300 years BC. We climbed the mountain and we discovered an open-air museum. The rocks, walls, and the breathtaking paintings of rhinoceros, mammoths, lions, and the primitive men. These people have documented before the discovery of writing their own exciting adventures. The Stone Age man could transmit his message through paintings and carvings in the walls of caves and rocks like this. Thanks to this primitive documentation, we now know that this area contained different kinds of animals. There is a great diversity in the paintings of cave and rock walls, which are near the bank of rivers and wherever there was water source, such as the source of Ain Shriya, where the biggest wall painting exists at the national territory level. These rock walls, which are considered priceless, have been as usually and most unfortunately vandalized by the ill-advised modern men. The thing which pushed the local authority to launch an awareness campaign to sensitize the people of the importance of this national patrimony. These walls were scratched by the men here, equally in the periods of the 70s or the 80s, and this phenomenon continues even today, as if these people don't know the importance of these places and their history. We have spent a great deal of time here to sensitize the nomads in the area of the importance of these wall paintings and so on and so forth. Arriving to this area was a lot more difficult than we expected. Yet, to our delight, we learned that this area was never reached by the media before, and our camera was the first ever. Media has a great role in the field of sensitization to preserve this national heritage. It is indeed a great and beyond price heritage that this area holds. A free and open-air museum which teaches about the primitive men is unfortunately neglected by the government, and no tourism program has actually touched this area, but that must change as soon as possible.
The end of our English news edition, brought to you live from Say News Channel. Thanks for watching. Bye-bye.